Hi, Phil.
Hey, Courtney, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited we're sharing time together and going to talk about Jim Carrey because we didn't realize it before, but it's his birthday tomorrow. So, what a beautiful birthday present that he gets to have, even though he doesn't even know that we get to talk about him.
Yeah, he would learn a lot about himself, I think, if he did eavesdrop on our conversation, especially now since there's so many energetic points in his chart at the moment, especially so around his birthday. So because of that, he is going to have a very memorable year. One for the books.
Good. I can't wait to hear. So, we'll tell us a little bit about ourselves. I'm Courtney, and you're,
Philip.
and we are, our show is called If I Were You. And we use astrology to help look at the chart and decide if we were you what we would do. So easy for us to say now. Who are we to say what you should do? But I think we do it in the nicest, kindest way without getting too intimate about the chart.
Okay, we're giving friendly advice, and we hope that it will be accepted in the spirit that is given, and that is because we're big fans, first of all, but we want to be supportive and encouraging and help Jim know himself better and maybe find better answers to the questions that he has.
Yeah, and by doing that, by looking at a famous person's chart that we all know, then it helps us understand it too, because we all have these points that are going through our charts and these experiences, and we learn so much about ourselves when we look at other people's charts. Let's look at a chart. Let's jump right in. But yeah, it's so much of we're all going through this major transition in a way together. He's just going through it. Can you see? Is it fully screened or is it not? No.
Yeah, fully screened.
You see the whole screen, three things, and there's nothing else seen, right?
Right,
Okay, good. Okay, so it's big. The screen's big. You're not seeing all the other junk on my computer. Well,
right.
what's interesting is, wait, do we have the right? Oh, want to hear how profound it really is? Is although his birthday is not today, his solar return is today. So we're filming this one day before his birthday. We didn't even know it was his birthday. We just happened to notice when we were looking. And the solar return is exactly today. So you're at 26 degrees 40, I think it's 43 seconds. And then right this second is 26 degrees 42 seconds. So I don't know. It's pretty, don't you have the chills a little bit?
Yeah, and when you consider how many connections he has to his other planets in transit, they're all conjunctions or sextiles or trines, all of them. So there's a lot of energy being transferred and shared and built upon. It's very, it's like the the doors of opportunity are open in a special way because there's so many exciting possibilities for him that if I were him, I would look at all these exciting opportunities and consider which ones he really wants to pursue. And if I were him again, I would say go for it, Jim. Go for the wildest, most extreme ones because you've got a lot of Neptune energy going on too, and that is really whispering to you, go for it, Jim. I've got your back. I know it's going to be a wild ride and it might not be logical, but if you're feeling it, keep feeling it. And that will guide you.
I think it's so interesting that you said, Neptune is about our spirituality. It's about our ability to connect to something higher, right? And he has this beautiful experience where you have Neptune he is very Neptunian. So Neptune, his way of being, just by being born, is very Neptunian. He's born with Neptune right on the ascendant. And you think about The Mask, right? The movie The Mask, and how he was able to, he's able to go into these parts and take us away, and you believe him, right? We keep on seeing that Scorpio energy, right, for that ascendant for these actors, and it's kind of amazing because we believe them. I think of water, and it's like when water could seep into the crevices and fill up something, and he's such a Neptunian person. So I love that you said that about Neptune, but really that there's spirit with you. It's your spiritual self, and there is spirit with you. And I think what's fascinating is we ended up re-talking about Jim, because when we got off the phone, we realized that the last time we recorded it, and we were just talking about the new moon and who we brought in different people, and you brought in Jim Carrey and what we would do for Jim Carrey, we realized that his progressed moon was in Aries. And that's huge. I mean, you're going from, what a big change he's being asked to be made right now. And the progressed moon is like sun is where you're becoming. It's, you were born a Capricorn, you're born working hard. Then he went through this whole Piscean time. So like letting go and surrendering and kind of finding himself, and also not finding himself, letting go of that ego. And then now it's like he's reborn. So last year was probably a very tough year for him, is my guess, just a transition year of getting used to this desire to be brave. He's ready to be brave, learn to be brave over the next 30 years of his life.
And I think he should become more focused on the concept of himself as the hero. He can play a lot of characters in movies and television. The character is a hero one way or the other. He's a comic hero. He's a romantic hero. He's been in romantic films and he's done dramatic roles really well. But I think if he focused on the idea of, hey, if this is all dreamlike to begin with, then why not give myself all those attributes that a hero in a storybook would have? And that Aries moon is telling him, you've got it all. You've got it. You've got the spirit. You've got the energy. You've got the momentum. You've got the inspiration. You can do it. So, move forward and follow your dream.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, especially around, it's so interesting. It's such a great idea, the idea of him being a hero of his own story. And I will say to you, we're going through a time where the Saturn and Neptune is going into Aries. So every single person is supposed to be the hero of their story. And yet he chose to be born at this time, at this exact moment in life where his progressed sun is in Aries and Neptune and Saturn will be on it. And so, if he had to let go of who he believes he was or is and become a hero of his story, what does that look like? And really have faith in himself, like doing the hard work of having faith in himself and his art, somehow anything to do with art, or romance or creativity, that fifth house of children. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe he's going to have children or grandchildren. I don't even know. Does he have children? I don't even know if Jim Carrey has children.
Yeah, he does. He's also a painter, among other things. So
really,
yeah, you call that one really well.
Well, no, but he's meant to be doing like that's the thing. We know him as Jim Carrey, that Jim Carrey, but who's Jim Carrey? If
Right, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to ask Jim Carrey himself. Who is you assume these roles, they're so varied, they're so persuasive, they're so inspired, but at the core, you're Jim Carrey. So connect with that and be the
Well,
hero, and
or
don't
are
be
you
just,
even Jim Carrey? Like, who am I at the core? Your spirit, right? So, at the core, who is Jim Carrey? Like, when you're first born, you're not Jim Carrey, and when you're 5 years old, you're not Jim Carrey. You might have the name Jim Carrey, but you're so much more than we're so much more than we think we are. And so, I have a great progressed sons. People don't realize how much it's very uncomfortable when your sign changes sign. So he went from a Pisces sun, right, to this Aries sun. So Pisces is like, I'm so chill, I'm laid back, I let me just enjoy everything. And then it's like being in the womb, and then you come out and it's very Aryan, and it's wanting you to, when you change signs, it's wanting you to pick up that energy. So I'll give you an example. My daughter has the same birthday as Walt Disney, and I happened to watch this Walt Disney little group clip, and they were talking about when he was 17 years old, he had a really hard year, and it was just, he was hard, he was lost, he was really uncomfortable. And I thought, that's weird, that's when my daughter had a little bit of a hard time. I looked at their progressed sun. It went from Sagittarius, which is very about faith, to Capricorn, which is about hard work and effort. And you kind of want to stick in that Sagittarius energy. And now you're being asked to like climb a mountain and work really hard. And it's uncomfortable. And so when your sun progresses, it's a very uncomfortable year, but it's made it through the year. Now we're like, it's past the 1 degree, and now it's like 111. So it's made it through the first year. And now you're really ready to like start something new. The Aries wants something new, beginning of something new. But people don't think that progressed sun, it affects you so much. If only I knew about astrology before and I could have known that, I was like, okay. But we don't know. We don't know until we know. But
yeah,
when
he's
your
gonna,
sun's changing signs, it's hard.
yeah, I think because it's changed into Aries, he's going to engage with situations that his Pisces moon probably would have strayed away from. Just naturally going to
No,
be more.
no, but he doesn't have a Pisces moon. He has a Gemini moon.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, so, but I'm sorry. What just passed into Aries? His sun?
Yeah, so the progressed sun,
Right, sun.
progressed sun now is in Aries. So yes, okay,
Right.
go on.
So it wasn't Pisces, right? So,
Well, it was in Pisces for 30. So how it works is this 30 years. So say if you were born in Aries, then you become a Taurus, then you become a Gemini. So then
right,
you're still your Capricorn base of
right,
the sun, but then you're becoming this Aryan energy.
right.
Okay, go on. But you're right, he's going to be uncomfortable with Aries energy. So do you want to explain Aries energy a little bit? Like, what's the goal for Aries?
I think it's a great energy. The initiator. The person is brave. This person is self-motivated, can inspire others, a natural leader. I think this person understands that taking action is important, and being clear about what you want with others is also important. And that if you need to be very assertive about your goals and what you want, then you just do it. And I think it's a great energy to bust through any blocks or fears. It's like you have a jetpack on, and you just move quicker, you've got more energy, you can get things done really quickly. It's like you can cut through fog and obstacles and just keep going until you reach your destination.
It's perfect. Perfect example, perfect energy for Jim. If I were Jim Carrey, I would listen to what you said about Aryan energy and how do I embody that more? Like, how do I allow myself to embody that more? And what's interesting is, Bill, is that he has a full moon. So he's in the full moon progression. So like the full moon progression. So it's bright right now. And you keep on saying goals. And it's so important for him to understand what his goals are, especially around other people, right? This like Libra energy, right? But I just think also in his work, like what he's doing, he's meant to be seen in this lifetime, and it might not always be easy for him to be seen. We might think it's easy for him to be seen, but my guess is he has the South Node on the bottom of his chart. He kind of wants to hide, and then he's meant to be a star and be out in the world. But his Chiron also is in Pisces. It's like he feels invisible, and he's not meant to be invisible in this lifetime. Can you imagine? I'll say, if I were Jim Carrey, I would allow myself to be brave, to be seen, and to show my art, whatever art that is that I want to show. And it doesn't have to look like last time. I was like, he would be a great director probably, but yet he's meant to be seen and appreciated and loved. Let us see you and let us love you. And you don't have to be like us for us to love you. So I would say that to him. But yeah, it's very, what a profound time for him. I keep on thinking of relationships. Like, what if he had the courage to fall in love? I don't know if is he in a relationship? Because I would like, when you go through the fifth house, romance. I would someone to bring me flowers.
Again, I see green lights in every category of his life. All of it. It's all doors opening left and right, opportunities for love and romance and career direction, all kinds of things. It's almost as if the sky is the limit for him at this particular time. So the 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 flip side of that is to be aware that many great things are going to fall on your lap. And which ones are you going to pursue? And that's a decision you're going to have to make. And it'll be a good one. But it might be a hard one. You might say, this seems a little bit left of center for me. And it's very lofty ideal that I have about myself and my place in the world. And it's very, it's very, might be hard to reach, might not be practical. But if you're hearing that little whisper in your ear, then don't dismiss it so quickly. Really listen to it.
Yeah, I love that there's a mean voice in our head, right? But there is this whisper that's really talking to us, that's giving us messages and saying to you, and we'll say just even with that Gemini moon in the eighth house, this whisper, like listening to the whisper, and especially if it's uncomfortable. I think that's actually a message for everybody right now. Do the uncomfortable thing, do what you're not used to doing, do something that's completely out of context of who you think you are, and then great things will happen. Because, and I think that's interesting is that you have this Jupiter going through his eighth house, but so see what you're scared of, like what really scares you, and know that you don't have to be scared, right? The monster's under the bed. I always think of that analogy of once you look under the bed, you don't see the monsters. So think about what's scaring you, be kind to yourself. So that when Jupiter goes direct and goes into that ninth house, sky's the limit. Like skies, like anything and anything's possible. Just so much about what we believe about ourselves. Like, where are you underestimating your genius and your creativity and your ability to wow us with your words, with your genius? He's a genius.
Yep. And his sun is trine Uranus right now. So you're going to get thunderbolts from the heavens, thunderbolts of great ideas, major light bulb moments, many of them.
And
And it could be,
you said something
it's
about the
going to,
people, like people offering him things. I think that's important too. Like, be open to people offering you things, because the thunderbolts are coming from other people.
it's got to be dramatic,
You
right
have
up
to,
your alley,
you have to
Jim.
listen. You have to listen. Like, there's godly thunder, right, or
hmm
lightning, and
hmm
how do you listen? But talk about how important it is for him to receive from other people. We were just talking about this earlier. receiving help from other people. Like other people are here to help you.
Yep. I mean, all these conjunctions with Mercury, Venus, Mars, sextile to Saturn, trine to Uranus, sextile to Pluto, all green light opportunities for you, where there's a really powerful blend of energies that are working so much in your favor.
Yeah. I think such a big part of his, it's so interesting because his progressed, I find progression so interesting because they're so slow. But what is interesting is that you have the North Node, right, going into Pisces, and it's going backwards, and it's gonna hit his like, it's gonna hit his, it's gonna hit his Mercury, and it's gonna hit his Chiron and Mars, and how important it is for him to believe, like letting go and surrendering and believing and having faith in himself. This himself is the when he was doing his work really, really well, and he uses his body in a way that's outstanding, right? Himself, getting really comfortable in himself and just loving himself and and the ability to be seen. You're
Right.
not
And I
invisible.
think not invisible, no. I think it would be helpful to describe progressions as internal energies that are moving within you, whereas transits are more about the weather outside and how the planets are talking to each other. But progressive movements of the planets are more psychological and internal and comes from your center.
Yeah, there's an astrologer who is great. She's a great astrologer. Her name is Lene, and she said something different about progressions than I ever heard, and I really liked it. It's such a slow moving thing that you come to embody it. So if you have, like, for instance, he's really learning to embody that Piscean energy, and then he's got really an expert, right, at that Mars from Capricorn all the way to Aquarius, all the way into Pisces, all that stuff. It's like he's has it all with him, and it stays with him because it's been such a slow learning. And it's true in a way, right? We're all becoming, like, we're born and we're perfect, and yet we're here to become, and we don't know who we are. And I think especially when you have, I mean, this is just a new beginning, and it's a birthday. Like, I think it's so interesting. We should do. I wonder if I stop sharing the screen and, like, look at a solar return. I'm not so good at figuring this out, but it's his solar return chart would be really interesting to look at because it is his birthday. But we could do that another day. But it's he's just meant to be out in the world. He's meant to be out in the world, and he might not want to be.
Right. Yes, that's where he might need to find the courage within himself with that March energy, because I think he's going to have to draw on his inner resources to really take full advantage of these many, many opportunities. Don't shy away. Don't doubt yourself, but think about it, because I think once you've really processed it all, it will click inside you and you'll know how to move forward.
It's so interesting too. You said something about not self-doubting, right? So not having self-doubt. So his progressed ascendants in Capricorn, right? So he's supposed to be seen as like this wise man. He's supposed to be seen as a hard worker, putting effort in, right? It's and then it's going through his second house in his chart. So it's about how does he have the ability to climb the mountain right now of his own worth. We think it's so easy for people just because they're well known or they're famous that they just believe in themselves and they just like themselves. And I don't think there's anyone going through life that doesn't doubt themselves. So
Mhm.
He really is meant to really know. It's so interesting. And just today, right this second, I just think it's fascinating. The moon that's transiting right this second is literally on his ascendant and is progress. If you don't think progressions matter, we're
Mhm.
looking at his progressed chart right when the moon is on his progressed chart. I mean, on
Mhm.
his ascendant, saying, hey, let's look at this new version of Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey is this wise, amazing, strong man, and that we're meant to see him as somebody that's grown up. He has grown up in the last 4 years since his Saturn return. And we're ready to see him. It's very cool.
It's
I
going to
don't know if
be
he's writing.
interesting to watch this next stage. It's a new stage.
I wonder if he's been writing over the last 4 years or something because there's something about him being so good at writing. I can imagine him writing a movie or writing some kind of screenplay or writing a book, and how wonderful it would be if whatever he was writing, he was willing to share it with the world.
So I think that speech at Rishikesh University is an indicator of just how deep his thoughts are. I mean, that was just mind-blowing to see. I think that's the direction he's going in because I think when you start thinking that way, there's no going back. I think for him, he's going through a process of seeing how the veils can be lifted, how he's peeking behind the curtain now. And he, it's a lonely thing to do in society to do something like that. And he's trying to bring us with him. And I think he's going to continue to do that.
But I think it's
Because
interesting.
again,
Here's my
yeah.
question to you because I was thinking about this the other day. Just I was actually okay. So when he gave that speech, it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. He was going through his Uranus opposition, so he was waking up to this genius, the other side, or this knowing of something that's bigger than us. So
Mhm.
this is what I was wondering. Does it always stay with us? And I don't know. I was just having this thought of this. We remember that and we could give a speech like that, but then are we able to keep it? Right. I was thinking about Oprah. Oprah went through when Oprah was going through her Uranus opposition, she created Angel Network. Right. So she had this idea that there's just more to life than meets the eye. I don't know if Oprah's
Mhm.
that same person or where she is at in her own spiritual journey, but I'm guessing someone like Jim Carrey, since he's had this progressed sun go through Pisces, he's become more spiritual. But I always wonder that how do we? I think that's my biggest fear. Like, well, one day I wake up and not remember this, and I wonder if that's a bit of his fear. If he goes out back into the public world and becomes a person out there in the world, will he somehow lose that inner knowing of genius? Is that a fear of his? And he won't if he does his own inner work.
Yeah, I, based on what he said, I don't, he's just too changed. He's too evolved.
No, but wait,
And I,
I get that, but wait 1 second. So David Foster Wallace was a genius, and he too he said something. He gave a speech that was the most amazing speech I've ever heard in my whole life, and yet he suffered so much. So just because we could get it and we could write it, does it? I don't know. So it was a very
yeah,
he's a brilliant
I,
speaker, and I think Jim Carrey is brilliant, and I want him
yeah,
to know his brilliance, and I want him to share his brilliance out in the world. That's what I want for him.
I think it's a very lonely position to have. I'm sure he does have issues with depression. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, I think the fact that he has pulled back a lot from what we're used to seeing Jim Carrey do.
But what was the last thing he did? I actually, it's so funny. I was going to look it up and then I didn't because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to go in thinking I knew where he is. And I just wanted to look at his chart and give the best information I could give. But I feel like we haven't seen Jim Carrey in a long time. And he's
His
ready to come
transiting,
out.
yeah, his transiting Uranus is in a strong square to his natal Uranus. So
Oh,
he's
wait.
he's he's that's energy that he needs to manage and bring under control. It's very hot energy, and it has a lot to do with his thoughts and his beliefs and how they're changing.
Okay, so according to I just looked it up, and it said that so Jim Carrey is currently in a quieter, more artistic life, focusing on painting and spiritual well-being after semi retiring from acting. Okay, so that explains perfectly what he was supposed to do up till now. So amen to you. You think that he has a spiritual being, that he's taking this time to do that, and now he has to bring it out in the world and share it with us and give it to us because that is his purpose. Like, I don't think you go through, have a progression that's 30 years in a Pisces sign and then not be able to have the courage to share it somehow in some creative way. I think it's important.
So, yeah, I'm reading here. A process of change that has been underway for some years now begins to manifest rather suddenly as this impulsive and revolutionary vibration electrifies new ways of being. So that's the Uranus square Uranus energy. So
Yeah, and then when he woke up to it, like my guess is that 2014 he was just waking up to this Uranus energy of really who he is, his divinity. Like who he is magnificent. I mean, and he's meant to
yeah,
put it out in the world. I mean, you don't have a Uranus at 29 degrees. You don't have a Uranus at 29 degrees, Leo, and not be somebody that's meant to be seen and be a game changer. He's meant
yeah,
to show up and be a game changer, like the king. Like the king is there, right? You think that Leo energy, shock us, surprise us. Think about Regulus, right? We hear a lot about Regulus because of Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump has the 29-degree ascendant, but he has Uranus at 29 degrees. So Regulus
yeah.
is right on it. That is like the king on the top of his chart. Like maybe he should make a joke and put on a king hat and make fun of himself, literally, and be like, this is so ridiculous. I'm the king, but you're meant to be seen as the king. You're meant to shock us and surprise us. And it doesn't have to be how it surprise us by being so different than who we think you are. That's what I'll say. That's great advice for him.
Yeah. And he has, just like a king, he has a lot of loyal subjects, his audience, who are, I think, have allegiance to him.
Yeah,
There's
and
they
maybe he could teach them something that they never thought they needed to know.
because they will listen. Our hearts and our minds are open to him.
But I think what's interesting is he might think that he thinks completely different than everybody else and that people won't understand him. But what I think will happen is that people will really understand him because they trust him. And he's a deep thinker. Like that moon in the eighth house in Gemini, he's a deep, deep, deep thinker.
Yeah, and I don't think that's easy to do. It's you have to be you have to bring a lot of bravery to this.
Yeah,
And he has it. He's got it.
he does. And he's meant to be, he's meant to be I think of like the child is born and they say, oh, Aries, like they scream or they have like a lot of energy. And the idea of they scream to survive. So what do you need to do to survive? It's like a survival skill. But maybe in order to survive, he has to share his art. Like here I am, and I am not going to apologize for what I believe and what I think. Maybe we're really ready to hear it. We're all changing, Jim, and you're right. We are loyal to him. Like if he says something,
Yes.
we'll listen.
Yes. So please bring us to where you are. You're you've elevated. You're rising. And from what I hear him say, that is what he wants to do. He wants to share how he feels and shares his beliefs and his philosophy. And he does want us to bring us along with him. I think he will.
Well, maybe he wrote a book and he's going to put it out. That would be really fun to see. I would love to see what his quiet hermit time that he's taken, and I would love to see it in book form or in some form of literature or movies. I love how you talk about movies and how they bring us to where we need to be. And I think some ways it's almost nicer than hearing someone tell you how to be.
Hmm.
These movies that bring us into who we could be, into another, or fiction books or anything, right? It's like this constant, the artist, the artist's way.
Yeah, I think the suggestion to write a book is brilliant. That would be wonderful.
I think he might have already done it because Saturn, just that the thought of that Saturn has been going through his chart, right?
Hmm.
So Saturn, he had a Saturn return, and then Saturn's been going through his houses. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. It's like he wanted to be inward, he wanted Saturn wanted to be home, he wanted to be safe, and then he's going to get this. He's going to start itching to get out, and he's not going to understand it. There's going to be such an itch. He has to listen to the itch. You have to listen to the itch.
Scratch it. Scratch that itch.
Even if you don't want to, right?
Right.
So it's what a beautiful man.
I'm excited for him. I mean, the heavens are really they're they're really bestowing something upon him. It's you, Jim. It's kind of everything. You're
Well, and what's
you're
interesting, you think about the heavens and you think about Jupiter, and Jupiter is going to the top of his chart next year, right? 2026, 2027, Jupiter will be right on the top of his chart, right? That Leo, on that Leo and Uranus.
Mhm.
The heavens are talking, and he's heavenly.
Mm.
Well, and what I also think is interesting is Jupiter's like, where are you underestimating yourself? But where are you underestimating yourself as as the guru, as the ability to be the guru and be seen as a guru? I think of the hats. I keep on going back to the hats. Make fun of it. Put the crown on. Put the crown on and be like, I'm taking the crown, right?
Can't wait to see what happens for him next.
Yeah. I think we have to remember that the stars are there to help us, and they can be, but we get to choose to use it higher or lower. And so, is there anything you would advise him to not do?
Yes, don't be overwhelmed by the opportunities because they're going to be really amazing, they're going to be very exciting, and they're going to come in fast. So be very methodical and thoughtful about your decision-making process. Mindfulness.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could bring mindfulness is such a it's perfect, right? Just to be mindful. Maybe all be mindful and present. It's such a beautiful response. Yeah. Just because you become out of your hermit phase or the cave, right? We'll say, doesn't mean that you can't be that same person. You could always go back. I mean, we very much are two people that are out in the world. Well, maybe not as much as Jim Carrey could be out in the world. And we make sure our spirit's the first thing we do. It's the first thing I think, right? Is taking care of our spirit. So you can have it all, Jim. You don't have to lose your spirituality by being out in human form. You could have both. It's just learning to make sure you fill your cup. Always have your cup filled. And that's true for anybody is how do you fill your cup?
That's right.
How do you fill your cup, Phil?
Oh, there's so many ways, yoga, astrology, pursuing things that really interest me and making times for the things that I want to do, which is it's such a gift. I feel so grateful that I'm at a stage in my life where I can do these things. Even playing pickleball, I is as funny as it sounds, I'm just very grateful.
Wait, that's such a good I wait, that is such a great idea for Jim Carrey is to play his Aries energy likes to play sports, like it likes to move and get its body moving very
Hmm.
differently than that Pisces energy. He could learn pickleball, Phil. You see?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know, something about moving his body was,
Yeah.
it's a really good thought. So
Yeah.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Is that like a, is that with that?
Yes. He's got the energy to do it.
Yeah, it's fun. I like that. Do you like pickleball? You like
I
it?
do.
Are you good?
I'm okay, but I think everyone's okay. It's a game where you can be okay and it's great fun.
And were you a good tennis player?
No, I never played tennis,
Perfect.
but
Okay, so
it,
you don't even need to play tennis before, and you could pick up a pickleball racket and you could play.
absolutely.
And it would be good for his progressed moon because it's social, it's a friendly thing to do. And he's
Yes.
meant to be with people, he's meant to be out in the world, he's meant to be in groups, right? He feels good to be out in the world and be in groups, and which groups matter and what people feel good to you. Good idea, Phil. I like that.
Well, thanks. So, Jim, if you're watching and you want to take this up, just DM me and I'll bring you to my group in Glendale. They're a fun bunch.
Okay, I like, see, you have an offer and everything, Jim. And anyone else that wants to play pickleball with Phil, they can reach out and play
Yeah,
pickleball with Phil
DM
too.
me.
Well, I wish everybody, this is what I would like to say is my, if I were you, to everybody, be the hero of your own story. It's a great metaphor of right now. So that's my advice for everybody at this exact moment. Be the hero of your own story. Any last words of what you would do if you were everybody else?
I would just say exactly what you said. Just emphasize what you said. Be the hero of your own story.
I mean, thank you, Jim, for being the hero of our stories so many times. So just want to go watch a Jim Carrey movie, which I think I will do.